Hello again, friends. We continue the drawing for the Battles of the Nations, which will take place on the international festival Battle of the Nations that will be in Warsaw in 2012. And now we will decide the placement of the fighters which will participate in the extremely demanding category triathlon, one-on-one fights using 3 different kinds of weaponry. According to the international rules, we arrange the team across 6 groups, which will consist of a certain number of fighters. At the head of the groups, by rating, is the Russian team, 3 fighters as last year's champions, having taken all medal places, and of course the home team from Poland, also 3 fighters. They too will be at the head of another 3 groups. Now my colleagues will help me find out who will be placed in these groups. I remind you that we have 26 fighters in the one-on-one duel nomination, which is one of the oldest nominations and a nomination in which first and foremost the fencing skill, the ability to wield the sword, is demonstrated. This is very important to us as we want the fighters at the World Championship to show themselves in every aspect. So, we begin the draw for the nomination one-on-one. We choose the fighter for the first group, that is headed by the Polish fighter, but who will join him? We see, and he is joined by a fighter from Quebec under the number 1. The fighter from Quebec carrying the number 1 joins the first group. Second group. In the second group goes the fighter from Israel. The fighter from Israel, carrying the number 2, joins the second team with the fighter from Poland, carrying the number 1. Third group. The vase has brought forth another fighter from Israel who joins the Russian fighter with the rating of 3. Fighter number 1 from Israel joins number 3. Group number 3. The second fighter of the fourth team, it is a fighter from the Ukraine with the rating number 2. He joins a fighter from Russia with the rating 2. The fifth group is especially interesting, who will join the Russian fighter under the number 1. So we draw the card for the fighter from Belarus under the number 2. The Belarus fighter 2 joins Russia number 1 in the fifth group. I think a lot of you can guess who that fighter is, but we won't say it now. The second fighter in the sixth group. Ukraine 3. The fighter joins the Polish contestant with the rating number 3. Now we see the third fighter from the first group. Ukraine 1. This could become quite an interesting group. Poland, Quebec, Ukraine. It's already interesting. And now Belarus. Belarus 1 joins the fighters from Poland and Israel. The second group, the fighter carrying number 1 from Belarus. Now the third fighter of the third group. Baltic countries, fighter number 2, joins the group with Russia 3 and Israel 1.
укомплектованные группы, но продолжаем дальше смотреть.
The fighter from the USA joins the fighter from Russia and the Ukraine, both with the number 2, a very heavy group, no doubt. And so, the fighter number 3 from the USA joins the 4th group. Well, there is always time for surprises. This is the first time drawing is done on such an international level. We are a little worried ourselves and very interested. The fighter from Quebec wins a placement in the 5th group. Quebec fighter with the rating 2 joins the 5th group. We still have a lot of fighters left who want to test their strength at the World Championship. The fighter from Italy with the rating 1 joins the 6th group, gets his chance to prove he is the best. His competitors are fighters from Poland and the Ukraine. Germany, the fighter with the rating 1 is placed in the group with Poland, Quebec and the Ukraine, the first group. The fighter from the USA national team with the rating 1 goes to the second group with Poland, Israel and Belarus. This group, like the first, is practically complete. We're very happy that so many competitors are in the 1-on-1 category, and from Italy with the rating 2, the fighter goes to the third group, joining Russia, Israel and the Baltics. And so the fighter from Denmark lands in the fourth group with Russia, Ukraine and the USA. Denmark won in the fourth group. And the fifth group, a very special one. And another fighter from Denmark joins this group with the rating of 2. His competitors are a fighter from Russia, Belarus and Quebec. 3 fighters are left in our pot. United States of America, the fighter with rating number 2 joins a very interesting, balanced group with fighters from Poland, the Ukraine and Italy. There are 2 fighters left which will be added to the 2 strongest groups, preferably which do not have another fighter of the same country in them. The fighter from Quebec, he does not join the first group because fighters from Quebec are already present, so he is automatically transferred to the second group, where his fellow competitors will be fighters from Poland, Israel, Belarus and the USA. And the last fighter, I hope he will not actually place last. It is a fighter from the Baltic countries who goes into the fourth group, joining the fighters Russia 2, Ukraine 2, USA 3, and Denmark 1. I remind the viewers that we have just completed the draw for the one-on-one category starting placement. In the first group, one-on-one we have Poland 2, Quebec 1, Ukraine 1, Germany 1. Group number 2, Poland 1, Israel 2, Belarus 1, USA 1, Quebec 3. Third group, Russia 3, Israel 1, Baltics 2, Italy 2. Group number 4, Russia 2, Ukraine 2, USA 3, Denmark 1, and Baltics 1. Fifth group, Russia 1, Belarus 2, Quebec 2, Denmark 2. Sixth group, Poland 3, Ukraine 3, Italy 1, and USA 2. Now we see the starting placements for all the fighters. The groups are very interesting. I can already foresee intrigues. I hope the trainers too will have some work to do on how to properly pose their fighters. We look forward to seeing you there, and best of luck from us.